Backyardigans, Legend Hunters. We're Legend Hunters! Shouted Pablo and Tyrone as they boarded their expedition boat. The Legend Hunters were embarking on a mission to take a picture of the famous monster of the murk. Legend has it that the monster of the murk lurks in the muck at the bottom of the murky sea, explained Legend Hunter Tyrone. No one has ever been able to take its picture. Until now, replied Legend Hunter Pablo as he fiddled with his special underwater camera. We'll get a picture of that legendary sea monster. The Legend Hunters headed toward the murkiest part of the murky sea. Meanwhile, submariners Unico and Tasha were preparing their submarine for a deep dive. Submariner Uniqua, are you ready to chart our way through the deep, dark water and perform picture-taking operations? Asked Submariner Tasha. She shook hold of the throttle and pointed the submarine toward the bottom of the sea. Aye, aye, Submariner Uniqua replied. Dive deep. On board the expedition boat, Legend Hunter Tyrone turned on the sonar monster tracking system. Beep, beep, beep. A large object had been detected in the water below. It must be the monster of the murk, whispered Legend Hunter Pablo. The Legend Hunters quickly lowered their camera into the water and started taking pictures. The submariners were snapping pictures and collecting scientific data when a dark shadow came over the sub. Then something long and stringy wrapped itself around the periscope. What is that? Asked Submariner Uniqua. Looks like a tentacle, said Submariner Tasha nervously. And a tentacle in murky water can only mean one thing. It must be the monster of the murk, gasped the submariners. Full throttle ahead! Hey! Shouted Pablo as the camera cable tightened. The sea monster is trying to take our camera! It really doesn't want its picture taken, cried Legend Hunter Tyrone. Don't let it get our camera. Let's pull it up. The Legend Hunters pulled on the cable with all their might, but the monster did not let go of the camera. Whoa! Called out Submariner Tasha as the submarine rocked back and forth. The murk monster sure is strong. Engage the propellers, exclaimed Submariner Uniqua. If we go really fast, the monster will never be able to hold on. I can't hold on! The monster is stronger than we are! Cried Legend Hunter Pablo as he pulled and tugged on the camera cable. What do we do? What do we do? We'll have to outsmart him, replied Legend Hunter Tyrone. Let's stop pulling on the count of 3. Maybe the murk monster will be so surprised he'll let go of the cable. Ready? 1, 2, 3. The Legend Hunters dropped the cable. Submariner Uniqua pushed the throttle as high as it would go. We have to get free! Increase speed! She shouted. Suddenly, the monster let go of the submarine. The submarine shot through the murky water, sending Uniqua stumbling backward. She crashed into Tasha, who bumped into a big red button on the control panel. An alarm sounded. Oops, said Submariner Tasha. What does this button do again? Then she remembered as the submarine started to rise out of the water. The murk monster is coming out of the water, exclaimed Legend Hunter Pablo. Quick, grab the camera! The Legend Hunters gave one tug on the cable and the camera flew out of the water. Pablo and Tyrone tumbled backward. When they scrambled to their feet, they didn't see the monster, but they did spot a submarine. Help! Help! Called the submariners. The monster of the murk is after us! Legend Hunters Pablo and Tyrone pulled the submariners to safety. Back on land, the submariners and Legend Hunters compared notes. We almost caught the monster of the murk, bragged Legend Hunter Pablo, but he got away. Well, we were almost caught by the monster, replied Submariner Tasha, but we got away. Pablo was excited. Did you get a picture of him? and took out their photographs. "Hey, I don't see a monster in any of these pictures," said Uniqua. Sure enough, the water was just too murky to see anything. The monster had avoided being photographed again. "I guess we'll never know what he looks like," said legend hunter Tyrone. "The legend of the monster of the Murk lives on." Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and share, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And for more Backyardigans stories, check out my Backyardigans playlist. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the video and the channel. Thank you so much for your continued support. And hey, don't forget to hit that notification bell to be notified of new videos as soon as they are released.